Welcome everyone to the SSG podcast, where we talk gaming news. I'm your host Chris, and with me is the ever lovable and not quite as fluffy, or maybe he is fluffy, I really don't know, Mitch. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Oh man, I'm doing fantastic because guess what? It's E3. It's E3 2018, and I am pumped, man, with all these games that are potentially going to come out.
Same. I'm so excited. One day away.
Exactly. So we're actually recording this right on the cusp of E3 releasing, and we wanted to go over some of the big potential games that could be coming out that have been announced, that have been touched upon, probably in the wrongest of ways. But but regardless, we wanted to go essentially company by company presentation style and just kind of touch on what the big deal is with some of these games. Give you guys some opinion, and also see if you guys could also be just as excited. I may jumble my words a few times because this is the first time I've ever done something like this, so wish me luck. Anyways, so Mitch,
what's up?
My man, what about E3?
Oh, it's my favorite time of year. It's pretty much the Christmas for gamers. I usually take the weekend off to just enjoy myself, watch each conference as it comes by. Just soak it all in because we know exactly what's going to happen the next year in gaming. Nothing gets better.
Or we think at least, right? Because there's how many times is something it's like, oh, this one thing gets announced, and you're just like, well, by next year you're just like, wait, where'd it go? I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Crackdown.
Yeah, Crackdown. Hello, freaking. What was the game that Microsoft just recently, or like last year, they canceled? Scalebound.
Scalebound. Yep.
Oh, it's freaking Microsoft. Oh, we'll get to you, Microsoft. we'll get to you. Oh, mark my words. Anyways, so the first company we wanted to touch upon, and by the way, guys, we're actually going through, like I said, based upon their press events. So starting with the first, we have at the top of the list the ever lovable and quite so in the gutter, I feel like, in some ways. I mean, they're making plenty of money still, but is Electronic Arts.
Yes.
EA, the one company that made the big mistake of involving politics with gaming, and not in a productive way. Those loot boxes. So Mitch, what are some of the games that you think that people are looking forward to when it comes to EA, if they are looking forward to it at this point?
It's got to be Anthem, the game they revealed last year. I believe it may have ended the conference last year, where they hopped in the mech suit after a beautiful cinematic, and they pretty much just jumped off and was free flowing. If I'm not mistaken, there was a few combat sequences. It kind of looked like an Iron Man game. And to me, that's rad. I'm not sure exactly what the game is about, where it takes place, if anything's happening in the world, but it looks beautiful. It looks like it plays smooth, and that was just a demo from last year. So I'm very excited to see what they touch upon there.
Yeah, I mean, it looked really cool. It looked really impressive. But for the most part, the thing I remember the most from that trailer, or the gameplay footage, or whatever it is, they tried to act like they were actual gamers playing a game like that. Good job shooting, man. I'm like, we don't say that. Man, we're just freaking noob. Learn how to shoot better.
Good aim, bro.
Good job. You're such a good partner. I'm glad you're with me. I'm like, no, EA, what are you doing? Like,
Cringe.
Yeah, very cringy. Very cringy.
I get microtransactions and I never hear that again.
Yeah, it'll be like a $10 fee to never hear another cringy dialogue in this one game, or they'll make it a subscription service or something. I don't know.
I'd buy it.
But yeah, I think Anthem, it looks to be what Destiny should have been, honestly.
I agree.
And in all honesty, with how much of a sad release Mass Effect Andromeda had, I'm really hoping it's worth it to take essentially the A team from BioWare and put them on this project. I really hope it's something worthwhile, because EA needs a win after the Battlefront 2 loot box controversy. And I think that, if they come away, if they release something during E3 that is it's actual gameplay and not just it's kind of like it's almost like a trailer. What they did, yeah, it showed some gameplay, but I'm saying, like, if we get some hands-on, they got some consoles set up and you can actually play the game, then right. I think that'll go a long way to improving relations with people.
Agreed.
But another thing I think people are or are not looking forward to, well, at least people who are trying to be politically correct, I guess, is Battlefield 5. I remember seeing on Twitter recently there were some people who were really getting up in arms because they had a woman on the front cover.
Yeah, not only that she had that prosthetic hand as well.
And I actually saw someone who actually went and dug up some old pictures of the prosthetic actually being a real thing from back around that time period. So okay. Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But is there anything that we could look forward to, you think, with Battlefield 5?
Yeah, I think that DICE has proven themselves to be one of the best developers in a war genre. I really enjoyed Battlefield 1. It drew off would be the word. It declined very rapidly for me. I got about to level 60 some, and I was just like, man, I need some new maps. But I don't usually buy DLC, so I never picked it back up again. That's pretty much my excitement for it.
I mean, so then essentially what you're saying is, does it feel like they didn't have enough DLC, or not DLC so much? I know they had DLC for the game, but it seemed like the support was really limited for the game in general. I remember seeing
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I remember seeing a map that showed when the game released, when Battlefield 1 released, to when the first DLC came out, and it was something like I think it was like an 8-month gap or something like that. And
wow.
Yeah, it was pretty big. I'm not. I'm probably skewing the numbers a bit, but it was still, for your first DLC, it was a very big window. And so I think a lot of people like you got tired of the game because there just weren't enough maps, and you're doing the same thing over and over, and there's only so much fun you can have in multiplayer games like that. So I don't know. I mean, I played the beta for Battlefield 1 personally, and I loved it, but I didn't buy the game because I can't justify. Well, there's a couple games that I've spent $60 on that were strictly multiplayer games like Overwatch. Mm-hmm. But I truly can't justify spending $60 on a game that is pretty much just multiplayer at this point. It's my thoughts. It's my same thoughts on Call of Duty. I can't justify multiplayer only. But I mean, the people that do want to spend money on that, they think it is worthwhile. They're going to get hours upon hours of playtime on it. Go right ahead. I mean, I've spent hours myself in Warframe. And I know people don't like that game. Some people think it's it's nothing but a grind fest, and you know what? It is. But whatever.
Yeah, I never got into Warframe. One of my biggest, well, not mine, but I remember a huge complaint of Battlefield 1 when it first came out was that I have no idea what the name of the map was, but it was the jungle map. It was literally a copy and paste of the indoor map from the original Battlefront.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, so it was a huge thing. I never liked the map because it was pretty much just a shotgun fest of you walk 2 seconds and you're getting shotgunned or flamethrowered or something over the top. Grenades, man.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. When I played, I've not played Battlefront 2. I never wanted to touch that game with a 10-foot pole. But Battlefield 1, not Battlefield 1, Battlefront 1. Excuse me. This is. My dyslexia is going to get to me. But I remember the indoor map and just hating it. I hated both for Walker Assault and then for just the regular team deathmatch type stuff. I couldn't stand the maps. Why
didn't you like it?
I felt like it was hard to really see. I know that's the point. You're like in a forest, but
right.
My vision's pretty bad, I guess, just in general. But I had a hard time really getting a bead on enemies. Obviously Hoth was an easier map. Solist was pretty fun to play on, as well, in my opinion.
Right.
But I don't know. I never really got to play with the DLC maps too much either. So I only had like the 5 maps from the base version to really mess around with. But yeah, I don't know. I just
5 maps. That's crazy.
I'm kind of joking about that. But I mean,
I think you're right. I think it might have actually been 4 for the Walker Assault, which is like the most popular mode. I'm pretty sure
yeah, and the thing is as well, this is something I hated that they did was I think this is the way it was done. You couldn't mix and match. Like, so if you wanted to play like a bunch of Walker Assault type games,
right?
They wouldn't. And if you had all the DLC, they wouldn't throw it all into one big playlist. You had to select the DLC. Which DLC did you want to join a game in? Well, I want to join in on the Bespin one or whatever. And right. I know you can't do Walker Assault on Bespin, but I'm just saying.
Could you imagine?
How do they fit?
I don't know. Make it work.
Yeah, come on, EA, make that work. But anyways, so we're talking a bunch of Star Wars at this point. So do you think they're going to announce anything Star Wars related? Do you think they're going to touch that? Relations are kind of damaged, and people right now I don't think are very hot on the Star Wars brand, especially with how the films, past 2 films have kind of performed. Do you think they're going to touch on that at all?
I feel like they have to touch on the single-player Star Wars game, which was Visceral's game and Amy Hennig's game that got canceled. They wanted to make it into like a live service kind of game, which I'm not sure what that means or who's doing it. I believe Respawn might have taken that over. With the last 2 films being criticized by the fan base, I don't think it will translate well to video games, but I may be wrong. Solo is underperforming tremendously, but they just released a DLC for the Kessel Run, I believe, on Battlefront 2.
Oh, that's interesting.
I didn't play, so I'm interested to see how that does. I feel like they have to announce something Star Wars related. You got the property and the IP and the license to do it. You have to start pushing out some Star Wars games that aren't Battlefronts, because they're not being very receptive, especially with all the microtransactions and all that kind of controversy and Pink Vader. I think they have to touch on it somewhat.
Well, they should have done a Pink Vader. I mean, they should have allowed different colors and stuff like that. I don't understand. Like,
canon.
Exactly, though. That's the reason why I should do it, so that people will scream on the internet more. Their tears are delicious. Look, I think you should have. I think if you want to have canon, have the canon stuff. But if you want to have super awesome customization things, you should as well. I mean,
exactly.
There's a reason why people will play, Counter-Strike. For people who don't know what Counter-Strike is, it's a PC first-person shooter that literally the only thing you can really get is skins.
Yeah.
There's no RPG system. There's no, I can level up my guns. There's nothing of that nature. Essentially, it's just you go into a death match where it's literally you die and you're dead. You don't respawn. And, it's a team-based shooter for the most part. And people get skins. So why can't we have Pink Vader?
Yeah. If you're young enough to not know what Counter-Strike is, it's PUBG, Fortnite, where it's just your skins. Nothing level up. Well, I guess you level up in those games, but you don't really earn anything except for cosmetic items. You don't get power balance or anything like that.
See, there we go. I just showed my age, because it's like, who knows what... Who plays Counter-Strike these days anyways? I sure as heck don't.
I actually played some a couple months ago with a couple friends. We were doing some custom matches. It was pretty fun. I got my ass kicked because I hadn't played in years.
But that was interesting. Anyways, so moving on to I guess the next bit that I could see EA doing is a bit of a montage of just, their sports. Here you go.
Yeah.
We got your football, we got your other football, and we got your puck ball.
And here's your basketball game that 2K has been doing better for a decade, and we're still going to try to feed it to you, even though that it's not good.
Look, even if it's not good, competition breeds creativity. So
That's true.
It's better. Put it this way: it's better for both that they both keep making basketball games, because you look at something like, for instance, MLB The Show. They have nothing to base their games off of. They're the sole baseball game, and I hate that. We need.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we need multiple licensed baseball games. That needs to be a thing.
I wonder why there isn't one, because even soccer has the PES. I don't know if it's PES, the soccer game. Is that every year?
Pro Evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trash.
Okay.
Like they are utter trash. I think I remember seeing something about a couple years back. It was like the 2016 version came out on Steam, and someone was like, "Yeah, this is the exact same version as 2015.
Wow.
What's going on here?" Yeah,
That's incredibly good.
There's no competition there.
There's no competition for Madden either, but a lot of people hate that as well, because a lot of people, like myself included, like the 2 favorite version back in the day.
Yeah, there needs to be, I don't know. There needs to stop being these monopolies on these sports games. Hashtag free the sports games. Whatever.
I can tell you 3 things that I would like EA to do, though.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I would love a reboot of Dead Space. That's one of my favorite franchises outside of 3. 3 became more action oriented more than a sci-fi horror game.
Gears of War in space.
Right. I would be incredibly happy. That'd probably be a hype moment for me. I know a lot of people, including myself, would want a new Skate game.
Ooh.
Those games were incredible. I believe I saw on Twitter that Dev was hinting at Skate 4 last year as in 2017, not last E3, that they could bring it back, but who knows? It's been too long. Give us Skate 3.
We need something better than Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 or whatever that nonsense was.
Do you remember Tony Hawk Ride, the one with the actual skateboard up the deck?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, it was utter garbage.
It didn't work. The skateboard thing did not work.
Someone put that out, and they were not thinking straight.
Yeah, it's called Tony Hawk.
Do it 900, brah.
He's like 50 years old, man. He's like, yeah, I'll do.
Let him move.
I just want my coffee and my newspaper.
Yeah, I can see that. And the last thing I would want is an NCAA football game, or even basketball at this point. Obviously, that's a licensing issue with paying the players, but we all know college players get paid, right? That's a subject for another time in podcast. But I would love to see them bring that back, because NCAA football consumed my summers every year in between high school. I absolutely adored those games.
Did you know that there's a company that's working to bring an NCAA type game to consoles, though?
Yeah, I read that, and if they do that, I'm all in. If they have like a Kickstarter or something like that, I usually don't back those kind of things, but I will absolutely back that.
Yeah, the premise of the whole thing is that while they can't use licensed teams and stuff like that, so for example, I'm a big Alabama Crimson Tide fan, and we just lost all of our listeners too. But I'm a massive fan of that team. Well, they can't use the licensing, but you can technically make them.
Right.
Like, that's how you get around the licensing, right? As long as you're just like, here, we'll give you the tools to do it, but we can't do it for you.
Right. That's smart.
I would be totally on board with something like that. We need something of that nature, because I've got NCAA 2013, and I absolutely love the game, because I love recruiting. I love being a coach in the game and just recruiting and just building my powerhouse. But Buffalo, New York, all right? I've won the national championship like 5 years in a row.
That's awesome. I used to do that all the time, too. I used to spend hours upon hours just doing recruiting stuff to make sure I had the #1 recruiting class in the nation.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. So moving on to a company that I think needs an intervention. A company that I feel like is kind of in the gutter from a different standpoint, because they just got their butt kicked by Sony last year, and that company's the last couple of years, honestly. But I want to highlight especially last year, that company obviously is Microsoft. Where's the exclusives, man?
In 2019, apparently, with Crackdown.
With Crackdown. So
I cannot believe they delayed the game again.
So this is like a game no one's asked for, no one really wants. Everyone liked the first game because it came with the beta code for Halo 3 or something like that.
Yeah, I believe so.
And then the second one is like an utter abject failure. And then they're just like, we're going to bring back a third game, guys. And everyone's just like, okay. And then they're like, oh, sorry, guys. We're delaying it until 2019. And everyone's just like, okay.
But we have Terry Crews.
Well, the last Call of Duty had Kevin Spacey, and look how well that turned out.
Oh, God.
It wasn't the last one, but it was the one before last.
Yeah. If not even before that. He was in a game. That's all that matters.
He was in a Call of Duty game in a single player mode or something like that. That now he destroyed. There you go. Kevin Spacey destroyed the Call of Duty single player campaign.
Thanks, Activision.
It's his fault.
Conor McGregor was also in one.
Oh, he was, wasn't he?
He might have been in the same one. No, that was the year one after. It was Infinite Warfare, I think. I always get it confused with Infinite War.
I'm confused with them all. I mean, we're getting a Black Ops 4 now.
Yeah.
Please, just stop. Just take it out back. Put it, take it out of its misery. Anyways, so you've got on your awesome list that you made of these games that we're actually discussing. The big three that you have here are Forza Horizon 4, which racing. Yeah, it's a given. You're going to get it. And then potentially Halo 6 or Gears 5.
Right.
I think Halo 6 is a given.
You think so?
It has to. It's been 3 years since Halo 5.
Has it really been 3 years?
It's been 3 years since Halo 5. It's got to happen. Yeah. It needs to happen. It needs to be a thing. Even if it doesn't come out this year, just to say, hey guys, we're working on it, and here's a gameplay thing or something. I don't know. At this point,
you remember when Halo 5 got announced?
I don't, because I stopped caring for the franchise after Halo Reach.
I hear you. Halo Reach is the best.
But how was Halo 5 announced?
I forget what year it was. I would assume either 2013 or 14. It was a weird trailer where I don't even know what the object or animal or machine is called, but it was a hooded character walking through a desert kind of thing, sand brewing, and this huge metal, I guess it would be a ship, came out of the ground, and the wind was blowing it. And
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was Master Chief in a cape. I'm like, why is he in a cape? Or like a cape, but like why did he have on a hood? That was the big thing. I was like, what are you trying to hide? Like, no, everyone's
he has a helmet on.
You're a 7 foot tall super soldier. No one's gonna you're in the middle of the desert. You can't miss him. Like, come on. But yeah, I remember that, and I was confused as to the reasoning. Yeah, it was really weird. But I don't know or I don't understand how they could get about doing Gears 5. I stopped playing Gears of War games after Gears of War 3.
A lot of people did.
I mean, I guess I should let everyone know I have a PlayStation 4. I don't have an Xbox One. So anything that's Microsoft exclusive, I tend to miss out on. So
was it the same last generation, or did you have a 360 over PS3?
I had actually had a 360 over PS3. I didn't play any PS3 games.
Okay, so you just kind of went with the flow.
Yeah, pretty much. My biggest thing was when the Xbox One was originally announced. They had that whole, it's got to be on, all the time, and we're also forcing you to buy the Kinect. And I was like,
and it can be your cable box.
I was like,
TV,
screw that, man. That's too much. I don't like it being on all the time, and so I went with PS4.
Yeah, I didn't like the Kinect either. I didn't like the Kinect in the 360 era.
Yeah, that was a gosh. Talk about a waste of time.
A waste of money. My gosh.
But it was cool. It was cool tech. I mean, for what it is. I mean, the stuff that you could do with it was pretty neat. But it just no one could develop anything for it. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So
it's all good.
So I'm seeing rumors of, Blue Dragon, which no one's going to know what that game is. Rumors of that game coming back. Yeah, it's an old JRPG that came out in 2007 that I was actually a pretty big fan of. It was on Xbox 360, obviously, but it performed terribly. It took every bit of processing power that system had for it to actually work. But it was beautiful. It was the art style was incredible. It was actually I think they took some inspiration, or I think he did some character designs from Akira Toriyama, who did Dragon Ball. Is still doing Dragon Ball to some extent. It was a beautiful game. I thought it was a beautiful game, but it was fun because it was a JRPG. I like JRPGs, but yeah, it was JRPG, so like turn-based, fighting mechanics, but
right.
Yeah, it was. I recommend people to look it up, if you've not, if you don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm hearing that there's potentially a spiritual successor to that could be coming out, maybe that could be discussed. But there's just not. I mean, Perfect Dark 2, I think is another one, right?
I think that'd be a crowd pleaser for sure.
Would it be though? Because the last Perfect Dark was on 360. It was a launch title, and it sucked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was not well received. Perfect Dark, I think it was called Perfect Dark Zero or something like that. It was bad. The first Perfect Dark, yeah, everyone loves that because it was built on the same engine that GoldenEye was, 007 GoldenEye for on N6.
So if they remade that for the modern gen, people care?
I mean, how do you make it something? How do you build upon what is already popular in the first person shooter genre?
That's true.
That's what the question comes down to. How do you make it stand out from a COD or a Battlefield or a Battlefront? It'd be hard to. Although you could probably push it's a strong female lead, kind of like with the Tomb Raider stuff.
Right.
That may entice some people to purchase the game. But you just, I mean, first and foremost, you just gotta have a good game. Give me good gameplay, and everything else will fall in line. So, that's the question with Microsoft. That's something we're actually looking forward to with E3 with Microsoft is whether or not, they actually have anything else lined up, because it looks very bare bones. I'm not saying Sony's going to knock it out of the park, but regardless, you would think that there'd be some type of, recovery from last year, because Horizon, oh crud, now I'm forgetting the name of the game. Zero Dawn, there you go.
Right.
That game right there, that was an exclusive, and it was, I mean,
massive.
Yeah, everyone and their mother obviously I didn't play it because I'm a poor person, and I have to choose which video games I purchase, and usually I make the wrong decisions. So
why you play Warframe?
That's why I was stuck with No Man's Sky for a little bit.
Oh God!
And the first The Division. So moving on to our next company that we're going to rag on about is Bethesda.
Ooh.
So, Mitch, I want to ask you this question: why Rage 2?
I am not sure. I imagine that Rage must have been a cult classic that I was unaware of. I totally skipped out on the game. I know
it's a good game.
Of mine in high school liked it. My ex-girlfriend liked it a whole lot. She tried to get me to play it. It didn't look like it was for me. I'm gonna be honest. When they announced Rage 2, or when the leak announced Rage 2, it's maybe in Walmart. I wasn't excited for it, and then they released the gameplay trailer like a day or two after that, which they kind of had to. It looks awesome. It kind of looks like a Borderlands meets a Mad Max vibe, and I actually dug it. The neon colors, the bright colors mixed in with like the sandy architecture of the environment. I think it looks pretty damn sweet.
Now, I played a little bit of the first Rage. Actually, I think I have it still somewhere.
Wow.
I've got a collection of 360 games. Actually, no, it's right here. I have it right here. I'm looking at it. And it's essentially a first-person shooter RPG game.
Who developed that?
Id Software.
Okay, because I know Avalanche is also helping id Software this time around. Avalanche does Just Cause games.
Ooh.
So that should be awesome.
Yeah, it should be awesome. But in my opinion, Rage, it kind of fell under the radar. I mean, there was a lot of pomp and circumstance going on about it when it was announced originally. Right. But it just kind of fell under because the story was kind of bland. But it was one of those games where it was like the story and everything was bland, but it was still, like, the gameplay was still pretty cool. Because there was a crafting system involved. And there was vehicles in the game as well.
Okay.
So it's very much like a Mad Max style game like you're thinking of. I would highly recommend everyone give the first Rage a shot. Just go pick it up. I got my copy for, how much was this thing? Like $9.
Wow.
You know.
I guess that makes sense for nowadays.
I mean, how old is this game?
Has to be probably 2009, 2010?
2011.
Wow, okay.
So a 7-year-old game. And, I mean,
it's not as colorful or over the top as Rage 2 appears to be, right?
Right, no. It's very, the colors are very muted. In all honesty, it looks like a less quirky Borderlands. Less of the RPG mechanic. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a solid game. I don't think it's like a, knock your socks off style game. I think it's solid.
Right.
But it's really cool.
$10, you can't try it out.
Man, you could buy a whole lot worse things for $10.
You're right.
Like No Man's Sky.
Destiny 2.
So, Destiny 2. Actually, No Man's Sky is really is actually about to. They're actually about to receive a Xbox One release.
Yeah, I saw that. They're like getting repackaged for like a bunch of like the stuff that they're working on.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation that's going forward. Like they're actually going to have true multiplayer.
Wow. Okay.
And a lot of other cool things, like you'll be able to build anywhere on a planet, because right now you can build bases, but you'll be able to build anywhere you want to build. And you can also, like, when you can craft vehicles right now, but you'll be able to build these ships that can like pick up your vehicles and stuff. And yeah, there's all kinds of speculation going on with that. And I think No Man's Sky is about to make a massive turnaround.
I would love that. I actually it was very, very, very bare bones when it launched, but I thought the game itself was pretty fun.
Yeah, I didn't like the game at launch, but I've played it since then. Since a lot of their big, they've had a lot of big updates, a lot of free updates, and it's a fun game now, in my opinion. There's more to do. It still needs a little bit more tweaking, but I think with this next update, which they're calling Next, I think it's going to revolutionize the game, and I'm glad that Hello Games is still working on it. I'm glad this game didn't die, because I mean, despite what Sean Murray may have said, the guy he's an idiot, but he's a lovable idiot. So
yeah.
But anyways. I mean,
I wouldn't want to put all of that on Sean Murray. Like, yeah, he did say that, but
he's not a PR guy,
for sure. But I feel like Sony, since they were publishing or help funding it or whatever the scenario was back then, I feel like that would have had a huge play. They're like, yeah, you have plans to do this, so say that, and they never got around to those plans, all the tweaking and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Sony essentially threw them under the bus. After the whole thing, and it's just kind of like, well, because the thing is, Sean Murray, he's not a He's not a PR guy. He's a developer. He's a designer. He makes the video games, and generally speaking, the people that do the coding, the people that do the development work, they're not the kind of people that you want to have talking in front of a large crowd of people.
Exactly, and I believe Hello Games was super small at the time, maybe like 6 to 8 people.
Yes.
They were tiny.
Yes, I think they may have actually officially expanded up to about 15 now.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
they've
doubled,
so that's good.
Yeah, I think they've grown. I think they've grown a good bit. They've been hiring some interesting people too, some interesting positions.
Good for them, man.
But yeah. Anyways, totally sidetracked there. We were on Bethesda, and boom, we just went off on something else. That's how this is going to be. We're not exactly trying to. Well, we have a bit of an outline we want to follow, but we just want the discussion to take us wherever it goes. So,
absolutely.
So if for people who get like anxious and ornery about stuff like that, you can just deal with it. So
timestamps.
Maybe there'll be timestamps if you're good. If you're a good person, be a good person. Tip your waiters. So, is there going to be a Doom 2?
I think so. If the last thing that I wanted to talk about for Bethesda, if there's no Elder Scrolls tease, I think there has to be a Doom 2 tease. It's not going to come this year. It'll probably hit the spring, about the March, April, May months of 2019, if there is one.
Yeah.
I think that they could just take they have like creation maps and stuff, right? Where you can like make your own maps. I'm sure they could just take that content and put it into a sequel, and I'm sure the campaign will just write itself because you just shoot things.
Right.
I think it's a possibility. If there's no Elder Scrolls, there has to be something else.
Man,
right?
if there's no Elder Scrolls, man, I think there's gonna be some rioting. But yeah,
yeah, for sure.
But Fallout, though, I think Fallout is the big thing and that's the thing they're touching on Fallout again with Fallout 76, which who knows what this game is going to be about. I'm hearing rumors it's going to be kind of like a survival game, kind of in the same vein of maybe like Ark,
right?
But what I think is sad, interesting, crazy is that we've heard nothing from Elder Scrolls. They're still porting Skyrim to the freaking Amiga over here, and
I think the only thing you can't buy Skyrim on is your phone.
Oh, just give them another year. Give them another year.
Yeah,
and you'll be able to
give them until Sunday.
Yeah, give them. You know what? It's already done. They're just waiting to get the app verified through Google Play and the Apple Store. I guarantee you.
And one more thing, now you can play Skyrim on your phone.
Yeah, that's just what we need. Holy crap, man. But yes, about this Fallout 76. What do you think? I don't know if you've got any thoughts about this.
I know that when it was announced, Jason Schreier for Kotaku,
which by the way, Kotaku is absolute garbage, but Jason Schreier is an excellent follow on Twitter.
Yep, he's a great journalist, one of my favorite in the industry. He tweeted and said that if you believe that Fallout 76 is going to be anything resembling a normal Fallout game, a single-player role-playing game, that you'd be out of your mind. And I have no reason not to believe Jason. He cracks a lot of newsworthy things in the gaming industry. As for what it is, I imagine it's going to be some kind of multiplayer component, whether that be co-op or probably 4 to 8. I don't think it's going to be a full-blown MMO like Elder Scrolls Online is, but I imagine it could be like you said, it could be like an art kind of game, or like you have to actually survive. Which I don't like those games whatsoever, but in a Fallout apocalyptic world, I'm down for that.
I mean, once again, they'd have to bring something to the table that isn't already there.
Exactly.
So it's how are they going to change up and mix up that genre that's out there? Obviously there wouldn't be dinosaurs or anything like that roaming around, so it's just
right.
how would they make it? It may end up being even a strictly a very co-optional PvP related thing where you're with a group of people having to survive, having to do maybe daily tasks or something like that in order to help your group, help your vault survive. And you may come in contact with other people who may want to be, friendly, or they may end up being like bandits, or
that'd be fun.
And the vault has to then defend itself from not only, random people, out in the world. There may be random NPCs that try to invade.
Something I just thought of, if it is like that, I believe they said that there's no super mutants because it's kind of set before the Great War, if I'm not mistaken, or 20 years after the Great War.
If it's in a vault, then it's probably 20 years after the Great War.
So, something I just thought of, if it's gonna be like a survival, like Arkish, and it's called Fallout 76, you have to imagine this after Vault 76. Is there only going to be one vault, and everyone in that world has to try and live in it? I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work.
Well, maybe they'd have multiple servers, kind of a thing, where you spawn in and it's limited to the number of people. It could just be that the story aspect of it is that you were a member of Vault 76 and you're no longer and you just got out. I don't know. See, this is what I'm saying. They could take this any number of directions, and to see what the basis of it's going to be like. We know it's potentially going to be a survival game,
right? But
how are they going to shift it up a little bit? How are they going to change it? That's what we got to wait and see.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And you actually said to me before that they're doing something with Fallout Shelter that seems kind of odd.
Yeah, I was scrolling through Twitter right before we started recording, and I saw Wario64, who's a great Twitter account to follow. He posts a bunch of, not necessarily leaks, but he does do leaks. He also does a bunch of games when they go on sale to various sites and whatnot. Anywho, he posted that Fallout Shelter actually got a trophy list on PlayStation 4, which means that Fallout Shelter is at least coming to PS4 and probably all consoles. But my question to that is why?
There's a couple. I think there's a couple ways they could throw it. The one way that might make the most sense is they may make it a free game, and they may tie it in with Vault 70 or Fallout 76 some way.
It has to be free.
Well, yeah, it has to be free. But I'm saying, so you play the game, and based on how you play in the game, you link it up with your account, because if Fallout 76 is going to be online,
right,
you'll have an account. You link it up, and you'll get certain perks, or maybe you get certain certain items, certain rewards because of you playing, this one game. It just, I don't see how you could really make it a companion game though if you're going to have both of these on console. It just seems a little counterintuitive, but I don't know. It may not even be that big of a deal.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see on that one.
Exactly. So we're gonna move on now to an interesting. This is the one I'm most excited to talk about. This one. This is Nintendo actually. So Square-Enix. All right, everyone's favorite. Look, Final Fantasy 15. I didn't play it, but holy crap! Once again, it came down to a money thing, and I ended up watching a massive Let's Play of the whole thing, so I got to see 90% of the game. But so I've seen that they're going to be releasing more content for Final Fantasy 15. They're going to milk that thing dry. Because I think it costs so much money that they have no choice but to do this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it was such a popular game that they can kind of, you know what? I'll be honest with you. This is what it is. The Final Fantasy VII remake. They know it's going to be coming out soon. That's going to be your next Final Fantasy game.
Yep.
They're not going to do a Final Fantasy 16 until probably another 2 or 3 years.
If that.
If that. So, I mean, you would have a better chance of getting a Final Fantasy 15-2 before getting a Final Fantasy 16. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening.
So, we've got, honestly, FF7 Remake. I'm kind of pumped for that. That was actually one of the few reasons that kind of inspired me to get a PS4. That's one of my most favorite Final Fantasy games. And I'll be honest with you, I have an original PlayStation. I have every single mainline Final Fantasy game that released on PlayStation.
Wow, okay.
So, yeah. So, the only one I don't have is, like, Final Fantasy Tactics. But
okay.
I don't care for strategy games. So, sorry if anyone hates that. But, yeah, so there's... you freaking nerds. I ain't got time for it. Actually, if you want to play a really challenging game, Final Fantasy 2, like the legit Final Fantasy 2, that is one of the dumbest RPG structures I've ever played. If you want to gain health, you got to get hurt.
Wait, what? How? Well,
Yeah,
why?
yeah. If you get hurt in if you want to build up your attack, you have to attack more often. It's not a standard RPG structure. You don't get experience points and then, ooh, I leveled up in health. No, it's you got to receive the damage but in order to make your character stronger.
I mean, I guess that makes sense, but...
It kind of does, but when you're talking about a game that came out on the NES, Famicom...
Yeah.
Oh, so bad. So bad, so bad, so bad. I never want to play that game ever again.
I don't blame you.
A game that I would love to play, though, is Kingdom Hearts 3.
Are you a big Kingdom Hearts fan?
I'm as much of a fan of Kingdom Hearts as I can be. I don't understand the story in the least bit. I just like the fact that there's Disney.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I have played maybe 3 hours of Kingdom Hearts 1, and that is it. I own every single game for PS4.
I did too.
I always said that when they announced Kingdom Hearts 3 release date is when I'll actually power through them all and experience them. I love Disney, and I love the gameplay of 1. I imagine it's better, but I don't know. But seeing Toy Story in Kingdom Hearts 3 was awesome.
I think see, my mind just went blank there for a second. Holy crap! No, see, the Kingdom Hearts games. I want to play them. I want to play them a lot. I've got them both. I've got both. 1.5, 2.5, and all the other excess stuff. I got the PS4 version.
It's like
but
mixes or whatever.
Yeah, but I can't touch it because that's supposed to be a game me and my girlfriend play together.
Gotcha.
And we've not touched it in about a year. So
maybe we'll get through it after E3.
You know what? Maybe so. Maybe I'll look at her and be like, "Look, we're going to stop watching movies and TV shows. We're going to power through this video game because I want to know what happens." Okay, we're going to do this. But then we'll just be sitting on the other end confused because the story makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I'm looking forward to it. I love what they're doing with the super attacks, where they're incorporating various Disney rides.
Right.
I think that is so ingenious. It's the game itself, from the videos I've seen of the game, the little teasers and stuff. It looks gorgeous. So I'm pumped for that. I'm ready for that.
Do you think that there's going to be any Marvel or Star Wars stages?
No.
Really?
No. I think Disney is keeping its Marvel and Star Wars properties separate. In fact, Star Wars has an exclusive license, or is exclusively licensed out to EA, so no other company can make Star Wars games other than EA. As far as Marvel stuff goes, maybe that actually has a bigger chance, since there's something we all forgot about that they might talk about.
Yeah. I mean, even if not, I've heard people say they could be a summon. I don't know what that means.
Well, I was referring to that Avengers project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, I was doing a lead in.
The old, this way.
Yeah, it was just awkwardly and confusing, and no one had a clue. Yeah. By the way, everyone, we all forgot about it. There's supposed to be an Avengers game, made by Crystal Dynamics. Is that who it is? Yep. And published by
Eidos Montreal.
And Eidos Montreal, published by Square-Enix. That we were told about last year.
Yep. It felt like an minute long teaser trailer, which was epic.
Yeah, it kind of gives chills as far as to what it's about. And the thing is, though, is that the tagline, this is right here, this could be spoilers for people who've not seen Infinity War in a way, but you know how it says that in the trailer, that the narrator, she says, we just need to reassemble.
Yeah.
What just happened in Infinity War?
They need to reassemble.
They need to reassemble. Oh, man.
Could you imagine if that's how they announced Avengers 4 through that?
I don't think they will, but
I don't think so either.
But
just
still,
imagine how crazy that would be. They could get away with it. I mean, they could.
They could. The thing is, though, I'm looking. I want a new RPG event, like Marvel game. I don't care if it's based off the Avengers. I don't care who it's based off of. I want more Marvel RPG games, because the last great one I played was Ultimate Alliance 2.
There's a lot of rumors saying that that game, the new Avengers game, is going to be quite similar to the last game.
I kind of hope it is, because I absolutely love those games. And actually, I played a good chunk of that Marvel Heroes, both on PC and console. It was okay. I liked it
a lot.
It was kind of convoluted, I feel like the but I love the number of characters, and that's the big thing I like about these Marvel games. That's why I want DC to do something similar. Holy crap!
They did DC Universal, but you have to play it.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. I love that game. Yeah. I have a maxed out character on the PS4 version of that game.
Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting that after the Heroes thing, but come around.
I'm telling you, man, I absolutely love that game. It's such a it's an old game, right? It's an old action RPG, but my gosh, we need something updated. We need something new. We need something. I don't know. I just want to be able to. Heck, what wasn't it recently announced or like teased that Rocksteady or something is doing a Superman game?
It's leaked, yeah. It's heavily rumored and leaked. I believe, I don't remember if it was on Reddit or not, but there was a leak saying that the Superman game from Rocksteady, who did the Arkham games for Batman, are doing a Superman game. And then there was a image that leaked that had WB and Rocksteady at the bottom of it with Superman. The S for Hope symbol kind of looks similar to Man of Steel, so a lot of people thought that it would be fake because no one would want Superman to resemble the one from the DCEU.
And those people are dead to us. If you don't like Man of Steel, then I don't like you.
Get out my recording booth, you dang dinosaur.
Wait, I like Man of Steel. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking to you.
I thought no one. Yeah, well, they're not in here.
They could be.
These are winners right here. You and me, we're winners. All those other people, they just need to I don't know.
Not be here.
Just go and like your Justice League, you posers.
I'm sure they're fans of Justice.
And poorly CGI'd upper lips.
I can't believe some people just about that. Anyways, back on topic. I would absolutely love a Superman game from Rocksteady. I mean, I guess this is semi-spoilers. It was an Easter egg in
Arkham Knight?
Yep. There's a tape, I believe, in Bruce's Wayne Tower. It might not be there. There's a tape from Lex Luthor there's also a billboard in the background that says LexCorp. It's like a building coming soon or something. So, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, but until I see it, man, I don't want to believe it's true because I don't get my hopes up.
You got to think though that they've got to be planning on doing something. We've never had a good Superman game, and before the Arkham Asylum games, we had never had a good Batman game.
True.
So, I guess you could say we've confirmed it, people. There will be a remake of Superman 64 coming to an Amiga near you. I need to stop saying Amiga.
Which only?
Commodore 64. TurboGrafx 16. What? I'm saying all these names, and I bet you there's so many people that are just going, "What in the world is he talking about?" Those are consoles and or computers, and computers from back in the 80s. Yeah. So to kind of finish up the Square Enix discussion, though, the last two games on the list, we have Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which looks good. I've actually not played any of the new Tomb Raider games. I've never been a big Tomb Raider fan, but it's the platforming adventure games.
Do you not like Uncharted?
I've yet to play Uncharted.
I used to love the old Tomb Raider games. My brother used to play them all the time. I have not played the rebooted next gen, new gen, this gen games. I do own the first Tomb Raider on PC. I need to get around to playing that. Rise of the Tomb Raider, I heard it's a really good game. So I think Shadow of the Tomb Raider is already confirmed that it's coming out in September. I might try and get through those games. I think they're relatively short, maybe like 15 hours long campaign wise. I might try to get through those before Shadow, because Shadow does look beautiful. I actually didn't watch the trailer. I've just seen like steals. I didn't turn the audio on just in case there were spoilers.
Right.
Because I guess you can't really spoil anything. She's not dead because of the trilogy.
Well, yeah, no, they're not going to kill her. I mean, that would.
Gotta milk it, baby.
Yeah, I mean that would go against everything. This series is going to run probably longer than the Uncharted series.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, Uncharted's quote unquote over. Sure.
Quote unquote. I mean, they'll listen. It's like a you get those like old like musicians, right? Like
waiting to see where this goes.
I'm trying like give me like a classic rock band, like Journey. Okay, Journey. Well, we'll go with Journey. All right, they could like just say, okay, guys, this is the farewell tour, and they're gone for like 5 years.
Oh yeah, this happens all the time.
And then they're like, "Oh, we're coming back."
Maybe not on that scale, but that definitely happens a lot.
But yeah. And I think Journey might be a little lesser of a popular band kind of a thing. But I'm just saying, just in general, you'll have musicians that'll be like, "Yeah, I'm going away." Okay, Adele. Okay, Adele does this all the time.
Really? Is she really?
Yeah, she will come out with a new album, have a world tour, and then goes back to being a normal person.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she doesn't tour right now. In fact, like she doesn't really do any interviews or anything right now, I don't think. Like she's
now that
just
you say that, I don't think I've ever seen Adele perform live outside of a like TV show, like promoting the album or something.
I think my girlfriend has seen her in concert.
Okay, so she has toured before.
Yeah, she tours. Yeah, she tours. But it's just it only is to promote that one album that she releases, and then she just goes. It's almost like she goes into hiding. She just boop. She just boop. So you watch this. That's what's going to happen with the Uncharted games. Is they'll become Adele. Yeah, they'll become Adele. they'll be like, oh, we need a prequel to the prequel, and they'll be
I think it might fade for a little while. I think after The Last of Us Part 2, Naughty Dog might try to do something else, maybe a new IP. They don't have to, but I think they try to.
I mean, I think they're making enough money right now with the Crash Bandicoot thing.
But they didn't do that for it, did they?
I thought they did.
Or a remake.
Well, they probably have the license though. That's the thing. Like they probably had to give the okay on it, and they're probably making royalties off of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's also coming to Switch, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Sometimes this month, so everyone needs to go buy and support that game. You didn't buy it on PlayStation.
Just support.
You did buy it on PlayStation. This will work again.
Just support the Switch in general, man. It's like,
please.
I mean, I don't.
June 30th, by the way.
I don't play it near. I don't because I got my Switch.
June 2019.
So it comes out this month.
No, hold on. June 29th of 2018. The Switch port is coming to. Actually, it's Windows, Xbox One, and Switch. Okay.
There you go. Everyone else gets it.
So everyone who's not a PlayStation player, please go pick that up.
Yeah, support the game so we can get remakes of other great classics.
Vicarious Visions did it.
Oh, they did, didn't they?
They did. But it is a Naughty Dog game.
Yeah, I mean, that Naughty Dog is synonymous with Crash Bandicoot, so I'm over here waiting for a remake of Diddy Kong Racing. So,
please,
yeah,
please,
yeah,
make that happen.
Yeah, man.
Please.
But I think the last game that you got listed here would be Just Cause 4. I can see
that happening.
Is there massive like desire for that?
I don't think there's massive desire. I'm sure there's some desire for it. Just Cause games are just dumb fun.
Yeah, they are dumb fun.
I bought Just Cause 3 twice.
I got it for free.
Once. Yeah, I got it for free from PlayStation, and I bought it on PC. And I didn't. The most I've seen that played that game was on vacation at my friend's house. I watched it play.
Yeah, it's a game that just you need multiplayer.
Yeah, for sure. That's just dumb fun. You can kill. You can destroy everything.
You know what? It's to be honest with you, it's Grand Theft Auto with tow cables.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, the physics may be a bit different, but
it's less polished for sure.
Yeah, but it's a Spanish Grand Theft or Italian or Mediterranean Grand Theft Auto. I'm sorry that it's in Spanish. It's because Rico. I don't know where he's from. I don't know where. Apparently he's in his hometown in Just Cause 3, but
okay,
it's Mediterranean. But I'm like
the same character throughout the games?
Yeah, all three, yeah.
I guess there is a story there.
There's a bit of a story there, yeah.
But Just Cause 4 got leaked today, I believe, from a Steam ad. So I guess it's real, and it's happening, and we'll see it at E3.
I mean, as long as it's not like a rehash. I mean, let me tell you something. The games that, like, in my opinion, one of the best game series is like the Saints Row series of games. Saints Row 2 is probably like my favorite Grand Theft Auto clone of all time.
Same. Great game.
But after 4, they started jumping the shark real bad. No, after 3, they started jumping the shark real bad.
I didn't play 4.
So I'm hoping.
I played like the first hour, maybe.
So I'm kind of hoping that Just Cause 4 doesn't do the same. Like, that's the only way they can innovate is by going into space.
Yeah. Wait, Just Cause 4 is in space?
No. I'm saying I hope they don't do that. I hope that, because that would be like, the only way they can innovate this game, the only way they can make it different now from the other games is by taking it into space.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Dead Rising from 3 to 4, and I guess from every progression, it's kind of the Saints Row games. Just Cause, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They just keep getting more over the top. And I haven't played much of Dead Rising 4, but from what my understanding is that it's so arcadey that it doesn't even feel challenging. At that point, it's like, are you playing just to kill things? Or I don't understand that. I like to have challenges in my game.
I've only ever played Dead Rising 1. And
there was like a timer for that.
And I hated the timer because I just wanted to go explore them all. Like,
yeah, I hated it originally too, but then I went back to it years later and I liked it.
Yeah, just let me get my Mega Man helmet, start shooting, shooting the zombies.
You blaster too, right?
Yeah, it just shoots lemons.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's not legitimate lemons, but it doesn't do any damage. It just knocks them back a little bit.
Now that's fun.
Yeah, I just want a game where I can just run around and do stupid stuff while there's a bunch of zombies around. I mean, then, essentially, it's Minecraft.
Yes.
Something like that. Well, moving on to the company that I hate the most. I have a massive hatred for Ubisoft. Because
you're gonna hate when you call it Ubisoft too.
Yeah, it's Ubisoft. I'm calling it Ubisoft because it's a wrong way of pronouncing it, and I have that much disdain for them. Okay, Ubisoft. They're French, anyways. I can't care about them. No, they've only made one good game in like the past 10 years.
Really?
And that's
there's only one game. What is that game?
That's The Crew.
Wow, that is opinion if I've ever heard one.
Absolutely.
So did you not like any Assassin's Creeds?
I don't care at all for Assassin's Creed.
Wow. Okay.
The gameplay is mostly what I don't care about it. I don't like the sneaking around. I don't know. It just the concept was cool because I am a big history nut.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't get into like the gameplay. The gameplay just wasn't fun. Then again, I've only ever tried playing Assassin's Creed 1. I've heard the 2 and yeah. Yeah. I mean, I tried it back when it was like the new hotness, and I couldn't get into it. I was like, sorry guys, sorry, I can't do this.
2 was a vast improvement.
And I'd heard that. And I mean, I do need to try it, but I don't know. I'm also, they've released a game almost every freaking year as well, so it's like, how can you innovate that? I mean, freaking Madden over here can barely innovate from year to year. How can you be in a massive storyline-driven RPG of a game? How can you innovate at all? So,
yeah, you pretty much have a 9-month cycle to do it in. From the time your game goes gold to the next time it has to be gold. So it's hard.
It's stupid, and they need to shift it up. And I think games at this point, because of how story driven they've become, they need to have at least a 2-year cycle.
I agree. I think Origins, Assassin's Creed Origins, did well with that. But then again, this is coming from the guy whose favorite Assassin's Creed is 3, and that's universally the most hated one. So.
Is that the one with the ships?
No, that is 4, Black Flag. I didn't actually play that one because I didn't like the ship combat in 3. But 3 is the one where, I think his name was Connor, during the American Revolution.
America.
America, baby, let's get it.
That's the only reason why I would have liked that game.
If it ain't bald eagles and American flags waving, then I want your Paul Revere looking butt near me.
Man, I'm telling you what, this just got really weird.
Tips Budweiser.
I hate Budweiser. Gosh.
Really?
Pick a good beer. Pick a better beer. Don't pick
What's
Budweiser.
Your beer?
It's actually a local brew.
Okay. IPA or not?
I used to like IPAs, but now
I figured so. You seem like an IPA guy.
yeah, I used to be a big fan of Sweetwater.
Okay.
But I got burnt out pretty bad, especially their IPA. I drank it so much. Not that I'm an alcoholic, but I'm saying like when I would get a beer, that's what I would drink, and I got tired of it after a while. But now I'm more of into like a pale ale.
Okay.
Just a straight up pale ale instead of a India pale ale.
I'm more of a liquor guy than I'm a beer guy, but I'll drink anything domestic pretty much.
I mean, I'll drink the domestic stuff. I mean, if I'm gonna drink something domestic, it'd probably be Coors Light.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Well, you're Rockies, baby.
I'm a beer snob. This just got way off track. This just got way off track.
E3, baby. You need to drink.
Yeah, E3. Wow, it's okay. I'll probably just cut that entire part out.
Nah, that's fine.
Just leave it in there. Just
it's fine.
Beer discussion and everything. It's okay. It's okay, people. We're over 21 years old. Anyways, so just to kind of finish out the Ubisoft list.
We just pretty much started with the Ubisoft thing. Yeah, we just covered games. We started talking about the Crew and Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's not that much I don't think they really talk about. You got the Division 2, which, I mean...
Confirmed yet. I think the league place is London, which is pretty cool. I mean, not many games are in London. I think the Division 2... They fixed a lot of things with the Division, so I've heard. I haven't actually sat down to play all of it yet. I really like the beta, but I never got it at launch. I was poor, and by the time I did get it, everyone was off of it, so I was like, oh, please don't.
Yeah, me and a former housemate of mine, who's actually technically a friend of ours, I guess, DJ. He and I actually played The Division for a little bit together, and it's fun if you get some people around, but all the enemies are just bullet sponges. That game just has so much potential about it. There's so much about it that could be really fun and really neat. But like I said, you got to have a party of people, because that's the only way that you can really get a wide range of like the skills being used. Right. And also it helps in order to take down those bullet spongy enemies. So the story and the premise of The Division is fantastic. I just want more. I hate to put it this way, but I want more Destiny. Where when I'm roaming around the streets of Manhattan, I want to see other players.
Do you not see that often?
No, not at all. You don't see any other. The only time you see other players is when you go to the little hideouts.
Wow. Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, which are essentially they're just they're travel points. So once you get to one, then you'll see other people walking around in there. But then once you walk out, you're by yourself.
Wow.
So the game felt very lonely, and I hated that. Like, you know, like the thing I like the thing that I like the most about Destiny. And there's not a lot that I like about Destiny these days. But I can spawn into an area, and I can go up to these enemies and start attacking, and then there's other people that can come around and help out.
Right.
You know, it feels like, you know, I'm not alone in this universe kind of a thing. And that's what I wanted in The Division. Is just, you know, people that can team up against like, like world bosses kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. Where, you know, that just happen to spawn, and, you know, here comes another, 10 people or something like that to join in to shoot at this, or to attack this person or this thing, and everyone gets reward for it or something like that. So that was one of the biggest issues, or a couple of the big issues I had with The Division. So for The Division 2, look, man, the bar is so low.
It doesn't have to do much to impress you, but it has to do something.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking for, is just something. But it's with most things. Like I pre-ordered The Division, and I got it, day one, and was really I was really disappointed. So like with this game though, I gotta see physical, like I gotta see people playing this. I need a demo, essentially. That's what I'm asking for.
You want a demo or a beta?
Both. Probably a beta.
Yeah, I would agree.
Probably a beta, but I don't want it just to be like a little small, tiny beta. I want something that's,
a good chunk of it.
Yeah, I guess something similar to what they did with Ghost Recon Wildlands, which was an utter disappointment to me.
Yeah,
that was not a Ghost Recon game. It was
a collectathon.
It was a Far Cry game with 2 other party members.
I think Far Cry's far better, but I can see your point.
No, well, that's just the comparison. It was too much. It was too much like Far Cry, and not enough like actual Ghost Recon.
I can feel that.
It didn't feel.
Are you excited for the crew too?
No.
Okay. the best game Ubisoft's put out in 10 years. Now excited for this.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I absolutely love racing games, even though I'm terrible at them. I'm a big fan of the Forza Horizon games. Those are some of my favorite racing games, and that's a lot of what I see in the crew. But for me personally, I mean, the only reason why I bought the crew was because I was looking for a Forza Horizon like replacement. So maybe if it goes on sale for like $20 at some point, but it's not a game I'm gonna buy like full price. I'm curious to see what they do, though, if they have a bigger map. Because that was one of the coolest things about the crew, was that the map was like a miniaturized version of the U.S.
I think it took, what was it, 2 hours to get from one side to the other? Or no?
It took a long time, like real time. I think it actually took closer to like 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But
It might have just been like a dev number where they said.
I think it's 2 hours to go from the top of Maine all the way down to the bottom of what would be California.
Okay.
But I actually made a trip from East Coast to West Coast, from New York to what would technically be
Oregon, Seattle.
Seattle, and it took me maybe 45 minutes.
Yo, that's awesome.
I mean, there's all kinds of content all the way in between. All these little challenges you can do that will get you. You know, if you do well in those challenges, you get better parts for your car.
Right.
You're driving past other players because it's an MMO, and you can challenge them to races on your way to wherever it is you're going.
Right.
It wasn't the perfect game in the least bit, but literally it was. I saw more innovation in that game than in any of their like first-person shooter style games.
Agreed.
Or third-person shooters or anything. Like
that whole US map thing was brilliant, in my opinion. That's the reason I bought it.
Yes, exactly, and I think that's it was a great selling point. I wish that maybe they had a few more vehicles. I mean, a lot more vehicles. I mean, I want a ton of vehicles. I want to be able to fill my garage with all sorts of cars. You know,
I think this one has like helicopters and boats.
And you see, I think they're kind of taking it a little bit in the wrong direction. But
it's like GTA without getting out.
Yeah, I think that's a little too much. I don't think that's necessary for like what the game really needs. But whatever. Like I said, I am looking forward to it, but I'm at the same time I'm just like, you know, I just want to see. It's with most of the games on that we talk about. I just want to see it, you know.
Yeah.
Let me see it, and then I'll get excited for it. But just mentioning it in name alone, seeing a teaser trailer of some sort, you know, that doesn't do much for me nowadays because, look, I went through the whole No Man's Sky debacle. You can't fool me anymore.
Speaking of fooling you excited about Skull and Bones? You know what Skull and Bones is?
Is this supposed to be like another pirate game?
Yeah, it's like the ship thing where like you select your role and stick to that role.
If I had enough people that could make a game like that enjoyable, then yeah, I would totally be down for it. And I love the concept. I love the concept. I love pirates. I mean, I think Pirates of the Caribbean, those films are some of my favorite films of all time. But
Byron is excited right now.
Huh?
Byron is excited right now.
I bet he is. I bet he's jumping for joy over something like that. But to be fair, like I said, I don't have enough people that would really play something like that. Like, I don't know enough people, and I don't like making friends with random people over the internet in games. So, I think we need more. I think we need more pirate games. We need a ton more pirate games. Just keep bringing them on, you know.
I was really interested in Sea of Thieves, but boy, was that just like
it's bare bones, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's really nothing else to do in the game other than just we're shooting at another ship.
Yeah, exactly.
And we killed them.
It's gonna be very repetitive. And, I don't know, just being locked in on one part of the ship the entire game is not appealing to me whatsoever.
No, I need it to be more open spaced. I need a world that feels like it's lived in. I need to be able to go to my hideout. You know, and my hideout is actually a place on the map.
Yeah, you're not getting that from this game.
No, you're not. So, I mean, I think it's cool. I think like, you know, it'll be interesting counter programming, I guess, to Sea of Thieves. But once again, this is coming from Ubisoft, and how much faith do I have in Ubisoft? Very little. Just that, you know. Actually, you know what the best game that Ubisoft ever did was? I'll take it back.
What's that?
The Mario and Rabbids game.
Great game.
And
Never beat it.
I'll give them one more. Rayman Legends.
Okay, I never played that, but
fantastic game. It's a
I'm
platformer.
looking at the Mario Rabbids game. That was fantastic.
See, I don't care for XCOM or strategy stuff, but just from a marketing perspective, I was like, that's brilliant.
Did you play it or no?
I played it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I played a good chunk. Probably about 10 hours of it. I really liked it.
I think it was a brilliant game. Anyways, moving on.
There's actually probably one more game that Ubisoft could do. That'd be a new Splinter Cell.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, Splinter Cell. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think they are doing that.
Think so?
I think
that'll probably be the one big thing.
And that might be the big thing, because it's time. How long has it been since we've seen a Splinter Cell game?
Blacklist?
It's been a long time, man.
It was 360 for sure.
Yeah. I just think it's time to bring that back.
Give it to me.
I think it's I mean the you think about it, the espionage genre, the sneaky shadow genre has there's not been too many games like that out and around. So I'll be interested to see what the public perception would be to a game like this, at this juncture. But I'm gonna sound terrible. I think people are gonna come out of this and just be like, does he even like video games? I never cared for the Splinter Cell games.
Really?
Yeah, it's the same reasons why I didn't care for Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
The espionage, I hate it. I hate sneaking around. And look, I'm probably going to be like hung for this, but I nearly hated the Arkham Asylum games, the Batman Arkham Asylum games, because of the gameplay, because of the sneaking around, the Predator mission type stuff. And I get it; it's part of Batman. That's what he does. He doesn't take the bullets very well. But I just personally, yeah, exactly.
The bullets very well.
He doesn't. Yeah, bullets. He's allergic to bullets. But I just don't like being all stealthy. I like going in just guns a-blazing and being as loud as I can. And yeah, there's a reason why I like Warframe. Like, I don't sneak around in Warframe all that much, even though I have the option to. I'm just like, Screw this. I'm a strong enough character. I'll kill anything.
I'm Batman. I can do whatever.
Yeah, it's exactly. So it's like, what are they gonna? Rocksteady better not have any sneaking missions in the Superman game. It better not happen. Superman don't sneak. Superman don't sneak.
I wonder what that would be like. Just him crouching around.
No, I'm Superman. All right, I'm gonna be punching around. That's the thing. I got my fists. I got my laser eyes. And I got my super speed. Frost breath.
Don't you snark at that?
Gosh. You're giving me flashbacks to Justice League again. Anyways,
oh, God.
What do you think about Splinter Cell, though?
I liked it. I was never a huge fan of it, but I mean, I played the majority of the games just because my brother loved them a lot. So I'd either watch him or I'd occasionally play. But I think I tried Blacklisted, and then there was something wrong with it, or maybe it was on my 360. I don't remember. Something happened while I was playing that game that super turned me off to it. So I'd be open to them making a new one. I'll give it a shot.
I seem to recall years ago when Splinter Cell Conviction came out, and they were saying this is the last Splinter Cell game ever.
Really?
Yeah, I think they said something like that, or it might have been for Sam Fisher. I think it was for the lead guy.
Okay.
I think they, huh?
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's if you think about it, this is what a lot of companies do with older IPs. They're like, oh, it's been 10 years or whatever since this last game. Let's bring it back out. I mean, that's technically how Nintendo's been making money all this time.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Like, oh, wait a minute, we need a Switch version of Wind Waker.
I'm down for that.
And I just freaking bought the HD remake for the Wii U. What the heck are you talking about?
I have that one for the Wii U, but I haven't played it.
You should play it. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
It's Wind Waker, regardless. It's like it's the greatest Zelda game of all time. I mean, it's freaking. It's better than freaking Twilight Princess, whatever it is.
Your favorite one is Wind Waker?
Yeah, actually, I would say yeah. My favorite Zelda would be Wind Waker. Second favorite is. I gotta think about this. You gotta really think about this. Because I'm probably gonna.
You played Breath of the Wild, right?
Yes, I did. This is where I'm saying I gotta think about this. I would put Breath of the Wild as my third favorite Zelda game.
What's second? Twilight?
No.
Okay.
I'll Link to the Past.
Okay. Breath of the Wild is the only Zelda game I have.
Really?
Yep. The second farthest is probably Twilight Princess. I got it for the Wii, and that's because I didn't really have anything else. And then I got bored of it, and then I wanted the 360, which ironically I bought Assassin's Creed for.
I bought a 360 for Halo.
Actually, I bought that and the prettier graphics for WWE. I don't think it was 2K back then, so SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. Had Undertaker on the front.
Hey, yeah, I remember that game.
The championships was shiny. Oh my god, it was groundbreaking.
I'll take you back further. One of the first games I ever bought for myself was I think it was Raw 2 on the original Xbox.
Okay. Wow.
And I still have that original Xbox. And I have a copy of that same game.
No way.
Yes way. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now. And on the front, you got Goldberg.
Yep.
On the left, there's Triple H.
Yep, that's what I was thinking, Triple H.
And on the right, can you guess who's on the right?
Scott Steiner?
Yep, Big Papa Pump.
Yep. Man, what a game. I didn't even look that up either. That's just sheer memory. Wow.
Yep. I'm telling you, this was that's my childhood right there.
Man.
That and Halo.
If I had the amount of hours of time that I spent in those like wrestling games,
I actually have a copy of NBA Live 06 as well.
who's on the cover of that?
That's a fun one to guess.
It's not Shaq, right?
No.
Shaq might have been 2K. What team is it?
If I tell you the team, you'll know the player.
Is it Tracy McGrady?
No.
I'm drawing a blank. Is it Red?
It's a who?
Is it Red? Cover?
No, I don't have the box. I just have the game disc.
Oh, that's not fun. Well, what is it?
Dwayne Wade.
Oh, I was close. It was the Heat.
Yeah, it is the Heat. Like I said, if I told you who it was, you would have the team. You would have immediately gone, "Oh,
yeah, it's true." They won in 06, and I thought it was Shaq, but maybe it was 2K that had Shaq that year.
That'd been fun.
Made sense.
Yeah, would have. So,
Dwayne Wade being on the cover. Anyway, back to the topic.
Yep, we got two more companies to talk to discuss a little bit about, and
two I'm most excited about as well.
So, unfortunately, I think we're going to have to move through this a little quickly.
Let's do it.
All right, so for Sony, The Last of Us Part 2.
Can't wait.
Are you pumped for that?
Can't wait.
Are you excited for that?
Yeah, it's one of the most anticipated, probably my most anticipated game, even over Red Dead Redemption 2. I didn't beat Last of Us until not last year, but the year before that, because I didn't want it to end. The opening made me cry. The ending made me cry. And the middle made me cry.
That is one of the most emotionally driven cinematic experiences in a game ever.
It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to replay it before. I'm hoping they announce that it's not coming out this year. I know that it'll probably come out fall of next year, maybe delayed until 2020. But either way, I want to replay through the first one more time before the last of us part 2.
I can totally understand that. The fact that it got remastered so quickly for like PS4 and stuff, that right there just cements its legacy. It's one of the most beautiful games, one of the greatest games. Just
yep, because it was right at the end of the PS3 cycle, right into the PS4s.
Mm-hmm. So we're both. I think we're both really looking forward to that. The next game, Spider-Man.
Can't wait.
Spider-Man.
I want to see more from it, but at the same time I don't, because it looks so good. I trust Insomniac as a developer. The game looks gorgeous. It looks like it's just going to drive every Spider-Man fan's dreams into the clouds.
Look, man,
it almost sounded like I was going to go negative right there, but I'm very high on this game. I cannot wait.
Look, all I need is for them to remaster Spider-Man 2 and just allow me to web swing around everywhere, and I'll be a happy person.
Hey, you can web swing around this one, so
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be great.
It'll be fun.
Next up on the list, I don't know anything about this game. Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah, it's so it's developed by Sucker Punch, which did the Infinite series.
Yeah.
They're finally branching out. If I remember correctly, it is a open world samurai game.
I'm sold. That's all I gotta know.
Yep,
all right, we done. That's it. That's all I need.
That's all I need.
Samurai, open world, we're good. That's... Yep. Ooh, boy.
I'm excited to see more. So excited.
Yes. And that's really pretty much all we know. Like,
yeah.
For real. For real.
Monday.
Like, until... Yeah, is it what? What did you say? Monday?
Yeah, Monday at 9 Eastern.
Monday at 9 Eastern. Better be. I hope every single person, which literally is probably people in the single digits that's listening to this right now. I hope you all tune in at that time. Which it'll probably be after the fact. I don't know when. Actually, I don't know when this is going to go live. I don't know when.
Listen to it after.
Then let us know. Then let us know. Actually, we'll have a means of you getting in touch with us, which we'll say at the end of this whole thing. Anyways, I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. Death Stranding.
We'll probably get a cinematic trailer and hopefully gameplay. That is the Hideo Kojima game. If you're not familiar who that is, that's the guy who made. He's the mastermind behind Metal Gear Solid. And also the Silent Hills game that was canceled, or if you don't know what that is, then PT that came out on the PS4, which was the playable teaser.
That demo was so terrifying.
Yep, I still have it on my PS4. Put it on my PS4 Pro. I won't play that game. I'll watch others play it, but I will not play it because it is absolutely horrifying. I love horror. Can't do it. But Death Stranding has Norman Reedus. I don't think Guillermo del Toro is still working with it, but here's Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead doing it. No one knows what this game is, what it's about, anything, because it's Kojima and he doesn't tell us anything. So hopefully we just get to see some gameplay, see what it's all about.
I mean, anything done by Kojima is like gold.
Sold, yeah.
It's gold. So,
sold, all of it.
I mean, and like I said, I'm not even a fan of Metal Gear Solid, yet the man is a legend. I mean, he's proven. And while we're at it, I'm just going to say, screw you, Konami.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a hashtag that I will not repeat, but it has Konami's name in a way that...
Is it F Konami?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know where that started, too. Jim
Yeah.
Sterling. Jim Sterling. He was the one that started that whole thing.
I'm proud of you, Jim. Thank you so much.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much. Because Konami Apparently Konami is also a very terrible place to work. If you try to,
it is for sure.
if you try to get out of working for Konami, they'll blacklist you, and they'll call other companies around and say, "Don't hire this person."
Wow.
Yeah.
F Konami.
Yeah. Exactly. We don't need that kind of behavior. Also,
The last one.
not letting Kojima accept that award that one year. I'm just saying.
Oh wow, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was terrible.
Yeah. But anyways, moving on to positive news. Bloodborne 2 or whatever From Software decides to do next.
Yeah, so last year they put out a teaser for... I don't even remember what the teaser was, to be honest with you, but everyone thought it was... I forget what the name was. Man, it's escaping my mind right now. But it was either that, Armored Core, or Bloodborne 2. I think Bloodborne 2 is probably the safest bet out of that. And
Armored
I really
Core.
hope it is Bloodborne 2. Because I absolutely adore Bloodborne. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's a Souls game. Soulsborne game. Oh my gosh. I wish I could experience that game for the first time again. I got the Platinum last year. My friend Dennis helped me out. And oh my goodness. I wish I could play that again with no memory. Just to experience the beauty of that game.
Have you played any of the Dark Souls games?
I played 3 in the beginning of 1. So the funny story was, after I graduated high school, my friend told me that I needed to try out this new game because we got graduation money. So I was like, "All right, what is it?" He was like, "Dark Souls." So I went to GameStop after we graduated, and I bought it, and I played it, and I hated it. I was like, "This is hard. This is dumb. I'm not playing this game anymore." So I didn't until Bloodborne. And then I fell in love with Bloodborne, which made me fall in love with Dark Souls 3, which now I want to get Dark Souls the first one remastered, but I haven't gotten around to it just yet.
Did that actually release on the Switch?
It is going to sometime this summer. It got delayed from the Xbox, PC, and PlayStation ports. I guess not ports, but remasters.
Yeah. They're essentially ports. There's nothing to really...
Make it prettier, I guess.
Sort of. You kind of smooth out some of those polygons.
Yeah.
But yeah, my brother-in-law loves the Dark Souls games.
They're great.
I've watched the Let's Plays of them. I don't really... Well, I'll take it back. I will get Dark Souls 1 when it's the remastered version when it comes out on Switch.
Okay.
I've said that I'm going to do it, and I'm going to try to beat the game.
These Joy-Cons.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I will beat the game. Well, I got a Pro Controller.
Okay, cool. I don't yet. I need to
invest in that. Trust me, it's a great controller. I love it.
Oh, I know it's great. I just haven't bought it yet.
It's just expensive.
It is.
$70.
Insane.
And that's US dollars. In case anyone's listening to us in Uruguay.
Shout out.
Shout out. So yeah, I'm wanting to. I'm looking forward to see what From Software does. I guess you could say I'm a bit of a fan of the games, mostly because my brother-in-law he literally is obsessed with these games, and he would not shut up talking to me about them. And I just kind of was like, okay, I'll listen to you. And then eventually I was just like, all right, this seems a very intriguing world.
Yeah, it is for sure.
It's not as convoluted as Kingdom Hearts, but it's getting there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I guess we'll move on then to the last, and you could say it's the biggest. They've been very quiet, but it's Nintendo.
Go boys!
I love Nintendo.
Me too, so much.
Every time it seems like they're down on their luck, they come out with a Pokemon Go, and they just Pokemon Go to the polls, right? Right?
Dang! All right.
Huh?
That's exactly what I just said. Pokemon Go to the polls.
Oh gosh, that was terrible. We're not getting political. All right, SSG Podcast is not a political affiliate of any sorts. Do not send us hate mail or well, no, you can send us all the hate mail you want.
Make Nintendo great again.
Hashtag make Nintendo. Look, man, Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers that's just what I want. That's just what I need. I need that Smash in my life, and that just phrasing, right? You got to be careful with how you say that, because I just realized that I want to.
Give me the smash.
I want to smash all night. That just doesn't. That just doesn't sound.
I just want to smash my bros.
That just okay. All right. We've taken
We
this.
swore we wouldn't get political.
Wait, that's political. Okay. So yeah, there's Smash Brothers. We want to know more about it. We better get more information about it.
For sure.
Nintendo better show us part of that darn roster.
They will, for sure, no doubt.
I mean, and there better not be a Pac-Man on that roster.
I don't know if there will be or not.
I'm just saying. You can give me all the Sonic you want. I'll take Sonic.
Really?
But no Pac-Man. I didn't like Pac-Man.
What if it's Peter Quill Pac-Man?
Then we might be on grounds.
Might be business.
We might be able to negotiate. We might.
Yeah, if you guys can just get Chris Pratt to voice him, we're down.
Oh. If every time he does his super attack, it just plays the Chain by Fleetwood Mac, then I'd be fine.
I'm down.
I'm cool with that. Beyond that, though, you've got the new Yoshi game, which
I think we'll get a name and date for that one.
I had no idea about that one. That seems interesting.
They showed it off I guess the Switch has only been out a year or years have changed, so I guess they showed it last year. It looked fun.
The last Yoshi game I remember was the Yarn game.
Yoshi's
Woolly World.
Woolly World is it.
And it looked so adorable and cute, and fluffy, and
I didn't play it, but it looked great.
just this that aesthetic they were going for was just perfect.
Yeah,
it was so good.
Amiibo. I don't even collect Amiibo, but I wanted that one.
Yeah, I actually have two Amiibos randomly.
I had two as well. I have the one from Twilight Princess and 8.
I've got Mega Man.
Okay.
Yeah, and the I can't remember her name right now, but it's the yellow dog from Animal Crossing.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I can't remember her name right now. I feel terrible, and I love Animal Crossing. The next so it's what possibly some Super Mario Odyssey DLC potentially.
Yeah, I think we can see that. To my knowledge, I think there's only one or two DLCs, but it was 3 updates that came from. They're I'm not sure exactly what they are, but I just know they're more minor than they are a major update.
Right. Yeah, I know Splatoon 2 is also getting some information as well. Some new, not information, but some more content added to the game. Yeah, there's a single player DLC supposed to be coming out for that as well. Yeah. But that was actually teased earlier this year when they had their little it's like a keynote.
Directs,
yeah, whatever they do with that thing. Directs, yes, thank you, because I'm so well informed. I know everything I'm talking about.
Go Ubisoft.
Freaking Ubisoft. Actually, I'm presenting about as well as Ubisoft right now. The next, I guess the next title will be something they
have the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee that they're probably going to talk about for a while.
I want to know what the Pokemon RPG game, the core, the main series is going to be.
Yeah.
I want to know more about Metro Prime 4. I want to know. I've heard rumors about there being a Star Fox Racing game.
Oh my god!
What if that's the remake to Diddy Kong Racing? They just make a Star Fox Racing.
Give it to me. Give it to me right now.
Oh, that'd be so glorious. What else? I thought there was something.
Fortnite might be coming to Switch.
That's terrifying. I mean, it's good, but it's terrifying.
Yeah, if you can play Fortnite on your phone, you can play that on your Switch.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bring it over.
Yeah, it's the new Skyrim.
If you Skyrim to mobile,
you be able to play Fortnite on my TI 84 calculator.
Oh God.
Yeah, just let me connect it to dial up, and that will be good.
Maybe a Fire Emblem game, maybe like a main series Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing something about a main series Fire Emblem game. Maybe they'll mention something about that. I heard something because I understand that like the 3DS is dying out, unfortunately, because it's like such a good piece of hardware.
Yeah, it really is one of the greats.
I'm just wondering if they'll announce anything else pertaining to that.
I'm sure they will. I think they said they're gonna go through fall of next year. I think. Could be completely wrong about that, but I think they're gonna support it up until
They usually do a good job supporting their portable systems, handheld systems,
they need to.
for a long time.
Switch is gonna take over,
and I mean, it's better than PS Vita. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Go Vita Island, baby.
Look, man, that was a big wasted potential. That
I love my Vita.
I don't know why like Sony didn't support it more. Like they could have done so much more with it.
I agree.
Oh, and I forgot to mention as well the Monster Hunter Generations ports is coming to Switch as well, which I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to it. I
feel you. I'm not a Monster Hunter fan whatsoever.
No. I love Monster Hunter.
Okay, so you can speak to this.
The problem is that the Monster Hunter on like 3DS on the handhelds is different than the Monster Hunter World.
Okay.
They made the gameplay a lot more streamlined in World. And after taking a sip of World, because I played the beta and I played a good bit of the beta, I didn't want to go back to the old way.
Okay.
And that's what this variation is going to be. But I think though it's still going to be fun to be able to play Monster Hunter with some of the people that I know that have Switches. It's still a good game. It's still fun. It's just some quality of life changes that they brought to World that I'm just like, I wish they could bring it to, this port of Generations. They may not do so, but regardless, you're still getting Monster Hunter on the Switch. And if this game sells well, which everyone, if you're a big fan of Monster Hunter, please go buy this game. If this game does well, then we may get an exclusive. You know what I mean? Like we may get something similar-ish to Monster Hunter World, but not exactly. They can't port that game. The graphics are way too much. But we may get a, but we may end up getting a exclusive for the Switch Monster Hunter title. Which is
I like that. I mean, I played World for probably 30 to 40 hours. I liked it, but it was very grindy and not grindy games.
I like grinding games. Oh crap! That just sounded. Oh man.
What?
I like games that it takes a long time to get stuff.
You like grinding games?
Oh boy.
You like grinding games when you smash?
Well, that'll do it for this. For the most part, I think we covered just about every single game that we could have potentially covered. Obviously, we're hoping that there's a bunch of secret surprises, things that we don't even understand or know about that come out. We'll be watching this pretty much with a bated breath. Kind of. I always love this time of year because you just don't know what's going to come out of left field and be like, oh wait, they're doing that. Because I guarantee you, while there's plenty of games that they've announced, not just Nintendo, I'm talking about for all the companies, there's plenty of games that they've announced and that we know that they're potentially going to be talking about, but what about those new IPs? What about those new games? Those games we don't know anything about, and they're going to showcase these just a little bit, just give a snippet of, so that we come back, next year, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm hoping everyone is ready for E3. It's going to be going on once this podcast goes live, obviously. But please, everyone, let's just see what happens. Let's see how this goes. It's going to be a fun roller coaster ride. I'm just going to do real quick. If you want to reach us on social media, that's probably the best place that you could reach out to us on things. Let us know what it is that what games you're looking forward to. What are some of your favorite games? You can follow Mitch over at, what's your Twitter handle?
It's at Marakarth.
Want to spell that for him?
Marakarth.
There you go, Marakarth. And you can follow me at Daylin07, which is at DEYLIN07. So like I said, let us know what you think, both with this podcast and with E3. If you're excited about games, if there's something that you're looking forward to, if there's something you're disappointed about, just let us know, because this is going to be a fun time. So I think at this point we're going to close things out. Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been a fun experience. Next week, we'll actually give reactions to some of our, some games that were released, potentially some of our favorites. Potentially we'll have a lot more disappointing reactions for me, because that's what I know y'all come for. So next week is all about reactions and impressions and essentially a wrap-up of E3. So I hope you guys catch us next week, and we will see you guys later. Take care.